Welcome to the American Business Podcast. I am welcoming you episode 146 in the American Business Podcast, the voice of American business. Today's number 21.6 trillion. Total assets for US banks were around $21.6 trillion as of early 2026. Quote of the day: there is nothing in a caterpillar that tells you it is going to be a butterfly. Alright, we have a special guest in the American Business Podcast today. I'm going to invite our guest to our virtual stage and we'll get the conversation started. Hello Ryan, welcome to the American Business Podcast.
Hey Kevin, thank you so much for having me.
Of course, it's a pleasure. Happy Friday. How are you? How is your week going so far?
I am glad that it's almost over, but I don't think I accomplished half of what I needed to. So, yeah.
Well, there is always another day, so it's all good. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us in the American Business Podcast. Well, we have a lot to cover, if that's okay, because I've been waiting for this conversation, and I love our audience to learn from your professional insights and your professional wisdom. Well, let's get started with introductions. As a start,
Uh-oh.
would you please introduce yourself and your organization to our audience and to our viewers?
Absolutely. So my name is Ryan Otto. I'm the president of Accent Financial Services. I'm also let's call it the founder, inventor of tax smithing. So between those two things, we try to help people with tax and accounting needs, and also with strategy and helping people to kind of figure out their lives and put their lives together in a way that helps reduce tax and protect assets and all that kind of stuff. So we love dealing with small business people, and I'm excited to be here talking about it today.
Absolutely. This is a great opportunity for us to learn from your professional background as well. And you just mentioned you work with small businesses in US, and this is great because we are the American Business Podcast. We are the voice of American business, and we definitely welcome any professional who is working with actually small businesses because the American business runs on small businesses in US. Most of the businesses in United States are small businesses, small and mid-sized businesses, and they are the backbone of the US economy. So we definitely welcome this conversation. Well, before we dive into this, actually, we love to learn more about you. Would you please tell us about your career journey? How did you get started? How your career journey has unfolded over the years?
Yeah, so I didn't know when my career journey actually started. I thought I had a whole different path laid out for me. I was studying biochemistry. I got into computers and computer tech. I had a whole bunch of things going on. But as fate would have it, I actually started doing accounting when I was about 14 years old for my dad on a Mac Plus computer. I don't know if you remember those, but
Yes.
the screen was this big.
Okay.
And that was back when Excel was just for Apple computers. It wasn't even for Windows yet. But cut forward to like 20 years later, and I found myself taking a part-time job in accounting for a hotel. My part-time job quickly turned into a full-time job and more. And it just so happened that I went around the department. I learned all the different aspects of accounting while I was just kind of trying to have a part-time job and going to school for biochemistry at that time, of all things. And and then just over the years, I worked my way through accounting. I've done consulting. Now I'm doing tax work, and I do tax consulting in addition to business services and CFO stuff. And it just kind of feels like all along the way, I've just been adding tool to the toolkit and being able to help people more. And it's been a fun journey.
Yeah, this is a really exciting journey. I'm glad that you are sharing it with us. Well, let's talk about your day-to-day work experience. What are the exciting and challenging parts of your work on daily basis?
Yeah. Well, you know, as a small business owner, there's always all of the administrative stuff to handle, right? But when it comes down to it, dealing with the clients and being able to help people genuinely figure some things out, it's the most rewarding part of all of it. And so for me, you know, I have a team that does tax returns. I have a team that does, you know, bookkeeping and accounting work. But I'm the strategy guy. So when people are ready to sit down and talk through their business ideas or talk through their financial statements or talk through their, you know, tax situations, I'm the one that gets to sit down with them and help them figure everything out. And, you know, just so often being able to bring information to people that, you know, it would have taken them years to look up all of those things. And we can sit down and have one conversation and have them walk out like, wow, I didn't even know most of that stuff existed. That's my favorite part of my day to day is having those meetings with clients.
What is the secret of your success?
You know what's weird is so when I got into the accounting field, it was in hospitality. And to me, learning about hospitality as a business culture is just one of the most important things that people really need. And so for us, hospitality is one of our core values for the company. And the reason that it is when people are coming in and saying, "Hey, listen, I need help with my taxes. I am 3 years behind on doing this stuff. I don't know what I'm doing with my bookkeeping and I don't know how to make it work right. And I'm getting letters from the IRS and now I don't know what to do." There's a significant amount of worry, um, you know, sometimes shame that goes along with those things. And so for us as a company, being able to have an environment where people can walk in and not be judged for those things and walk out feeling like, hey, I think I'm genuinely getting the help that I need to get. Uh, and and having a spirit of hospitality in the company, I think it's a really big part of what makes all of that work.
Can you tell us the state of your industry a little bit?
Yeah, well, so tax and accounting it's kind of rough right now. Um, a few years back, I saw some numbers, and I want to say it was like a 2019 to maybe 2022 study, and there was over 300,000 people who left the industry. And you know, however that number sounds, it was something like 15 to 20% of the industry that basically hung up their shingles over that period of years. Um, and it hasn't really recovered from that. I think in particular, when you look at who's in the industry, I believe it's something like 75% of CPAs are at retirement age. And the number of people that are coming into the industry it's down at least 20% versus prior years of people who are really interested in getting into tax and accounting spaces. And I, you know, I follow a lot of message boards and, you know, Reddit and stuff like that too. And you know, there's a lot of feelings about being in the industry and wanting to get out of the industry in particular that it's tough to look at all of that and understand like, well, no, we really do have an important part to play in people's businesses. It's just everybody is very disillusioned with it right now. And I think to a large degree, that's probably going to be increasing over the next several years with the onset of all of the new technology being thrown at us right now. So it's tough. I will say it's a tough industry right now. Hiring is tough. Yeah.
Well, okay. Let's talk about something really popular in the American business podcast. Let's talk about AI. What is your take on AI, and how do you see the impact of AI on business nowadays?
Yeah. What's crazy about AI, it's equal parts exciting and terrifying. And for me, that's one of the things that people are looking at right now. Like, well, do I really want to go into accounting right now? Because isn't ChatGPT just going to do it all for us in like a year? And that's a real concern because AI is getting smarter and smarter, and certainly being able to throw things at it and get real information out is a very, very powerful tool. And so for us, I'm trying to use it in all kinds of things. I have a little bit of AI in most of our different systems that we use. I'm using ChatGPT, and I've made custom GPTs that will write specifically formatted letters and things for us. I've been using Claude, and I'm actually working on building an app for Claude for some of the stuff that we're doing. So I'm trying to use all these things. We have a voice AI receptionist, right? And anytime we're
Yes.
having a meeting and nobody can take a phone call, we turn on our AI receptionist, and she takes the calls and sends us an email and says, "Hey, so and so called." And so all of that is great. But the flip side of that is that how many people is it going to put out of work? And so I kind of look at where the tools are at right now, and I'm trying to imagine where the tools are going to be 2 years from now. And right now, I would say there's not that many people in danger of losing their jobs today, because you still have to know what you're asking AI to do, and that understanding at just kind of a base level, like, how do I word this question? I mean, it goes back to even when Google came out, and how many people still use Google, and it's like, show me a picture of a cat versus really utilizing all of the tools of what a Google search can do. Like, show me all about this topic from this period of time and only include search terms that have to do with blah blah blah. And so there's the basic Google user, and then there's the advanced Google user. And I think the same is true of AI. So people who can ask it, hey, what should I do with my taxes? Like, okay, that's fine, but you're not going to get the real nuanced answer out of it as somebody who can ask it the full and complete question. And so, over the course of time, is that going to change? Yeah, probably. It will probably prompt you for all of the things, and it will probably have, all of the different strategies and everything that are built into it. But right now it takes humans, and we'll see what that looks like a couple of years from now.
Well, nowadays, from your based on your experience, what are the best marketing practices that bring the highest ROI?
I'm really enjoying doing podcast stuff, reaching out to people, having real conversations. We've done a couple of webinars here or there that have had some decent success. um, I know there's a place for Facebook Marketplace and all of that stuff, but it's I don't know. To me, that kind of stuff, it takes some real skill to make those things work without just spending lots of money on it. And honestly, that's what I have heard from other people in the industry as well. Just neighboring firms are like, I threw $3,000 at Meta last month, and I got 2 leads out of it. And because it's tough to get the right messaging out there that engages people. And so to me, I think, platforms like this, where you're engaging with people who are interested in having the conversation and interested in knowing more about what's going on, you're you're like halfway there already. So I
Absolutely.
think stuff like this is really what is going to be for this year, podcasting and speaking this is what we're doing.
Hmm. Yes, absolutely, and it'll definitely position you as a thought leader because you are taking your time and you are sharing your professional insights with other professionals. That has a value, and that also shows your generosity professionally. That you like to share your insights, you love what you do, and you like to put the content, educational content, out there through different channels like ours or others. That means a lot, and not everyone is doing it. So in that sense, it's also really differentiating because being in front of camera, addressing questions and sharing your insights is not easy either. A, you are allocating your time for it. B, to me at least, it's a skill, it's a virtue, and it's a skill, both of them in a way. So that definitely makes a big difference.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what you're doing, you have had some great success over the last year in building
Yes.
your podcast, and so that it's something that I'm kind of actively working on right now, is making a podcast about entrepreneurship,
Mm.
and talking with people kind of in this format, to just the way that an entrepreneur brain works, it's just different from a lot of people. And so for you've been building this over the last year. Like,
Mhm.
what's your journey been with podcasting?
Yes, well, yeah, we started a little over a year now, and before starting it, I made a lot of research. A lot of research. I watched a lot of podcasts, different podcast channels. While I was learning, I was also observing and trying to see what is out there and what is missing, basically, that I can really complement because I'm a long time business networker. I also have other industrial roles in the market, in manufacturing, in nonprofits, and so on. So I'm pretty active. So that also gave me the I must say confidence and experience to engage with other business professionals and learn from them. So yeah, based on the research that I made over the years, I found this angle in terms of having an educational, informative podcast to interact with other professionals to share these insights, and then it actually evolved into a more concrete mission, is to promote, support, and uplift American businesses, nonprofits, and manufacturers, as well as the business community. So now this is our basically mission, is to support, uplift, and promote American businesses. So it has been quite a journey, and we learn a lot, and we are still learning. But this is definitely rewarding. That is for sure. And the truth of as a matter of fact, the podcast is the new TV channel, right? As TVs are dying because no one is watching anymore in a set time frame that's been set by someone else. The viewer or the average viewer age is pretty high for TVs nowadays. So it's obviously has no feature. That's why TVs are trying to turn it into a podcast in different channels. YouTube is one of them, and others also. They are working so hard. So this is a new media, and people are getting a lot of news and insights from podcasts. So that is another reason that podcasts are really, really popular, because people are allowed to learn, and they allowed to learn in their own time frame. They don't like to be forced. Hey, 8 o'clock, be in front of the on the screen and then get the insight. This is not happening anymore. So this is absolutely exciting, absolutely exciting.
That's very cool.
Yes, appreciate it. And I'm also glad that you are with us today in the American Business Podcast, and we can have these conversation. There is also there are a couple of things actually I really love to learn from you. Another popular subject in the American Business Podcast is leadership. So how would you define leadership from your point of view? And what are the great leadership qualities a good leader must have?
Yeah, so I think the biggest differentiating thing between being a manager and being a leader, right?
Mhm.
For me, it's vision. And being able to communicate where the organization is going and where you want your people to be going, and how you, like, even how you want them to grow. It's looking at it from a manager perspective. You're like, hey, we need to get the job done. Let's go do this task. Let's all come together to make sure that this thing happens. Looking at it from a leadership perspective, you're like, well, how do we turn this into the next level for our team members and for our clients? And how do we make the business look a completely different way, and do all these things? And yeah, so I think the biggest component there is having a vision and being able to transmit it to other people.
Have you had any role models, any mentors who help you shape your career perspective and your journey over the years?
I have been fortunate enough to have worked with some great people. And maybe that was just a boss somewhere along the line, or a boss's boss. Um, yeah, I have, and particularly in hospitality, I would say, finding a good general manager who really takes people under his wing and teaches them, the ways of hospitality and business. Yeah, I have had some fantastic people in my life, I would say.
If key career lessons, if there is one key career lesson that you learned the hard way, what would it be that you can share with us?
Oh man, I think it's tough to know what your journey is going to be. And so all along the way, just don't forget to learn as much as you can, because you never know when that thing is going to end up being your thing. Like I remember when I first started work in an accounting department, it was at a hotel in Santa Barbara, uh, more than 25 years ago now. And my first day of work in an accounting department, I went through orientation, and then we had to transmit payroll. And I didn't know anything about payroll. I didn't know anything about accounting. I didn't know anything about hotels. And so I got up there, and the payroll manager, she said, all right, so we have to do payroll. It has to get processed tonight. We have to do tips for everybody in the hotel. And I don't know how this system works. So figure it out and let's get going. And so my first day in accounting and hospitality was a 16-hour day. And it didn't slow down from there. But every step along the way, I learned something new and interesting. And I never imagined that learning how to do payroll, way back when, was going to be at all important in my future. But now here I am. We're helping people with these things. And one of the things that everybody gets stuck on is payroll. Like, I got that. That was one of the first things I learned. So don't discount anything that you're doing right now, because it may come back and help you later.
We have a little tradition in the American Business Podcast. Now, I have a question for you that is coming from our previous guest. I'm going to ask you that question. And after you address it, I'll ask you to leave me a question in this episode, and I'll take that question and ask to our coming guest in the American Business Podcast.
Okay.
All right. So the question from our previous guest is, what is the one new idea that you are implementing in your business for growth?
So right now, our big push is I've been working on how to develop funnels and lead magnets and all of these things. Like, I'm learning how to be a salesperson, which has never been me. I'm not a salesperson. I'm like a numbers techie person. But I'm learning how to be a salesperson. And one of the things that I kind of got involved in is, how do you build the right lead magnet for clients that you're trying to get? And we molded over a bunch of different ways, and we said, all right, well, the thing that people keep asking us in our strategy meetings is, how do I pay my kids? And so we talked about it, and we said, okay, well, paying your kids mechanically, there's a certain way to do it. So we put together a document that is designed to help people, which ends up that's now our lead magnet. So here's an entire document on here's how you pay your kids. But it's also turned into a new component of our tax strategy program. So we under tax smithing, we have a bunch of different pieces. And one of those pieces now is called the Capital Apprenticeship Program. And it's all about how to pay your kids, how to set them up for future success, how to do some financial education along the way. Um, and really kind of, it's something that is not really talked about in schools all that often. Growing up, maybe you had home ec as a kid. That was a long, long time ago, and nobody balances their checkbooks anymore. That's not a thing. But understanding how to invest and understanding, tax advantage accounts and all these different things that you should learn when you're young, or that parents who happen to be business owners can help their kids do. That's the big program that we're trying to do right now.
Okay, so what question you would like to leave with me today for our coming guest?
All right, so here's a good question. We talked about AI. So how are you going to use AI to double your productivity next year?
Okay, perfect. I'll make sure to ask that question. I love the question, and I truly appreciate it. Okay, what is your career advice for the next generation professionals?
Pay attention to what's going on in the world around us, because it is changing faster and faster than ever. And by the time you guys get to be, my old age, the world is not going to look the same as it does right now. So be aware, be focused, and work really hard.
I appreciate it. Okay, for those who would like to continue this conversation with you and learn more about your organization, what is the best way that they can get in touch with you?
Yeah,
and learn
so
about your company. Yes.
yeah, our website is accentfinance.net. And you can reach out. We have a very built out website, so you can make appointments through there. You can see all of the things that we do. We're trying to build a network of, complementary businesses that have the same sort of mindset as us. We're really trying to make that a portal for people to do anything that they want with us when it comes to small business. You can also find us. So the new thing is taxsmithing, and taxsmithing.com is it's under work right now, and it's going to be a really cool way to get involved and understand how your taxes work for you in particular, and what strategies are out there that you might be able to implement in your life. So, and my email address, ryan@taxsmithing.com, and feel free to reach out.
Well, this is great, Ryan. Thank you so much for being with us in the American Business Podcast, and thank you for sharing your professional wisdom and your insights.
Kevin, it's been my pleasure.
Pleasure is all mine. Of course. Pleasure is all mine, and I wish you a great weekend.
You too.
Thank you very much. And to our audience and to our listeners, we'll be right back after a short break. Thank you very much. Would you like to listen to music during your work time? We are here to help. We created ABP Office Music Pod, powered by the American Business Podcast. ABP Office Music Pod is for you, the working professional. You can enjoy jazz, lo-fi, smooth jazz, classic music, and more during your work time. We keep the music positive and energetic. You can go to the YouTube channel of the American Business Podcast, or you can scan this QR code and start listening right away. There is more coming in the American Business Podcast, and this is one of them. Enjoy ABP Office Music Pod during your work time, and thank you very much for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Reddit. Do you know the biggest challenge nowadays for American small businesses? That is visibility. That's why we partner with Reddit for Business. There are more than 440 million visitors weekly on Reddit. Furthermore, Reddit is reliable, and millions of users are going to Reddit to get the real feedback from real people. It is the number one source for real reviews on products, services, and brands. There is a promotion going on that I'd like you to consider and take advantage of. When you spend $500 on Reddit for advertising, you'll get $500 in advertising credit. True story. I am a Reddit user, and anytime I like to have feedback or review for a product or service, I go to Reddit and I talk to Reddit communities. I get the real feedback and real review from real people and real communities. Scan this QR code and sign up for Reddit advertising. Get the visibility for your company, for your products and services on Reddit with Reddit advertising. Reach people ready to buy your products and services with Reddit advertising. Scan the QR code and sign up today. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Anywhere Apps by Kerr Consulting, now Cherry Baker. Anywhere Apps are designed to help you digitize and automate your business processes. Anywhere Apps are a family of business software products. There are more than 40 products available for business process digitization and automation. Anyware's apps are easy to use, they are standalone, and they are also ready to integrate with your ERP and accounting software systems. Today, I'd like to promote APS Anywhere, which is part of Anywhere Apps software product portfolio. APS Anywhere, designed for manufacturing companies. Whether you are a process manufacturing company, food and beverage, chemical, and more, or a discrete manufacturing company, automotive, aerospace, electronics, and more. APS stands for Advanced Planning and Scheduling. APS Anywhere is ready to streamline, digitize, and automate your production planning process. As you know, in manufacturing, production planning is not easy. There are always some bottlenecks and challenges. You need to put together your resources, 3M, man, machine, and material. APS Anywhere designed to streamline this process and automate it for you. It is a modern system. It runs on cloud. It also has deployment options for installation on your server or your private cloud environment. The system is scalable. It comes with unlimited number of production planning scenarios, meaning before you execute, you can see the financial implications and timing of your production planning on APS Anywhere. APS Anywhere comes with a very colorful and easy-to-use Gantt chart so that you can see your production planning on a colorful and easy-to-operate Gantt chart before you finalize your production planning purposes. The system is also integratable. It is ready to integrate your ERP system, MRP system, and other systems whenever there is a need. It is designed for manufacturing companies by manufacturing experts. It also comes with ready-made reports if you like to utilize. Furthermore, on APS Anywhere, you can also use demand forecasting function, meaning based on your past manufacturing and sales figures, the system can predict what will be your demand in the future. This will help you manage your supply chain in a more productive manner. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code and you can learn more about APS Anywhere as well as Anywhere App software system in general. There is more. I have a direct line for you. You can send me a direct email, kevin@kerconsulting.com. kevin@kerconsulting.com, and I'll be happy to hear from you about Anywhere apps, APS Anywhere, or any Anywhere apps that is offered by Anywhere apps by Care Consulting, now Cherry Baker. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Otter AI. Otter is the AI note taker that builds your knowledge and powers your workflow with transcription, automated summaries, AI chat, and more. Get your AI-powered assistant for meeting notes, tasks, and more. Scan the QR code on the screen and sign up today. Otter AI is the latest note taker that you can utilize, and you can set your meetings, you can take your notes, and you can also set up your follow-up actions automatically with the help of the Otter AI. Scan the QR code and sign up today. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from DocuSign. If you are signing vendor contracts and customer contracts very often, just like I do on daily basis, consider DocuSign. DocuSign is the latest modern digital and electronic signature software system. Furthermore, you can manage your vendor contracts, customer contracts, NDAs, and any other commercial contracts on DocuSign digitally with no need of local installation and no need of keeping your documents on your laptop or your mobile device. Furthermore, with the latest technology of DocuSign, it has intelligent agreement management. It recognizes your repeated documents and creates contracts automatically and makes things easier for you. Do you know how many users are there for the DocuSign system? More than 1 billion users. There are many companies using DocuSign and trust DocuSign for electronic and digital signature. True story. I also use DocuSign on daily basis and it works smoothly. Highly recommended. You see the QR code on the screen. When you scan the QR code, you fill up the form to start your free trial and join the DocuSign user community. Enjoy your DocuSign experience, and I hope you sign up today. I have the QR code on the screen. Thank you very much, and enjoy the experience. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Gemini Trust. Gemini makes crypto simple. Find, trade, and buy over 70 different coins, including Bitcoin and Solana, on the best cryptocurrency platform. Gemini Trust. Start trading crypto here. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code and start signing up today. Because they have a great customer service, you can reach out to them and get assistance 24/7. Scan the QR code and start trading crypto on Gemini. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Wizen. At the American Business Podcast, we always talk about continuous improvement and professional development. That is why we partner with Wizen, trust the nation's largest network for tutoring. Wizen helps you find the tutor that you need in many different subjects: chemistry, computer, foreign languages, geometry, English, music, physics, reading, SAT, science, and many more. I have the QR code on the screen that you can sign up and start searching for tutors and enjoy the learning experience and continuous improvement as we always talk about in the American Business Podcast. Scan the QR code and sign up for Wizen today. Thank you very much. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Rosetta Stone. Rosetta Stone is bringing you foreign languages. Learn from the experts, choose your plan to get started, sign up today. New Year is coming, and if your New Year resolution is learning a foreign language, Rosetta Stone is the choice for you. Rosetta Stone is offering you a long list of foreign languages: French, Italian, German, Chinese, Greek, Turkish, Polish, Portuguese, Vietnamese, and many more languages are available for you to get started today. Scan the QR code on the screen and sign up for Rosetta Stone and enjoy the learning experience of foreign language. Thank you very much. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Anywhere Apps by Kirk Consulting, now Cherry Becker. Anywhere Apps are business software systems, and they are designed to digitize and automate your business processes. Today, I like to focus on contract management anywhere as part of Anywhere Apps software product portfolio. Contract Management Anywhere is an AI-powered vendor, customer, and legal contract management software system. It is modern, it runs on cloud, it's easy to use, and it's scalable. Because of the AI capabilities of the system, software comes with an AI chatbot that you can get your answers about any contracts that you have. Renewal dates, amounts, start dates, and other details can be learned from the system in a conversation. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code to learn more about Contract Management Anywhere, as well as Anywhere Apps in general. There is more. I have a direct email for you. You can send me a direct email about Anywhere Apps and Contract Management Anywhere, kevin@kirkconsulting.com. I'll be happy to help you and help you schedule a demo session with Team Anywhere Apps. Looking forward to hearing from you, and I hope you enjoy Anywhere Apps. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Norton, advanced tech for advanced threats. Sign up today. Norton offers you different packages to completely save and secure your data and your devices. Each Norton package comes with antivirus, malware, ransomware, and hacking protection capabilities. In addition, there is VPN, private internet connection, dark web monitoring, and parental control capabilities in each package. There is a promotion going on right now. I have the QR code on the screen. You can get up to 60% discount if you sign up right now for one of the packages. There are packages of Deluxe, Standard, Plus, and Select. Depends on the number of devices that you like to connect, as well as the features that you like to utilize when you are using Norton. I have the QR code on the screen. When you scan the QR code, you'll see the different packages and options available for you. Scan the QR code, go to the page that you like to sign up, pick the package that you like to use, and sign up today. True story. I am also using Norton on a daily basis, and I know all of my devices are secure every single day, thanks to Norton. Scan the QR code on the screen and start using Norton today and save your devices and your data in a safe and secure manner with the help of Norton. Thank you very much. I enjoyed the experience.